right. All right. Hopefully this camera stays still. Oh, nope, it's not. Let's get this corrected before we start, because this is going to be a definite different video. It is straight off the dome, nothing scripted. I'm just coming out here taking you all to my go-to meditation spot, and welcome to my humble abode. This is where I come to connect to the universe. It helps me stay grounded and receive these etheric downloads. Now, I want to talk about something in particular today in regards to lucid dreaming, astral projection, and dream walking. I first want to address the difference between lucid dreaming and astral projection, because a lot of us tend to get these two concepts confused. Lucid dreaming is where you can take complete control over your entire dream. You can fly, you can see whoever you want, you can, like your crush, if you really think about it, you can make them appear in your dream. Now, lucid dreaming takes practice. Like if you meditate, you can kind of put yourself in a lucid dream state where you have a visual of what you want to dream about, and you just sit there and you just think about it. Like, say you want to go to Disney World right that night, and you just think about, right before you go to bed, I'm going to go to Disney World. And you relax and let your mind just take you there. Now, it might not happen your first try, and it might take a few tries, but you have to sleep every night, so that's plenty of time to practice, because with anything in life, it takes practice. So when I first experienced a lucid dream, it was completely unintentional. I think I went through a form of sleep paralysis before I entered that lucid state. I remember I was at work, and I worked like maybe a 48-hour shift straight. Like, it was just crazy the amount of hours I was putting in, but I did it. And I was tired. For those of you who don't know, I'm a firefighter EMT, and I think I was on a medic that entire shift, and I didn't really get any sleep. So I remember when I finally had the opportunity to lay down, my breathing was just naturally in like a slow state, where like I was able to like count how many breaths I was taking. It was a relaxing feeling with how slow my breathing was. And then the next thing you know, I was able to like follow my breaths and let that take me to where I wanted to go. And it was unintentional. Like, it was completely just letting my body do its thing. And I remember it felt like I was floating. Like, it felt like something was taking my soul. Like, and I think that's where people probably get confused with astral projection, because astral projection is a outer body experience, kind of like a near-death experience, where your astral body leaves your body, and you can look back on yourself and look at where you are. You can travel to anywhere in the spiritual realm, you can travel anywhere in this world, you can travel other planets, you can do whatever you want when you astral project. It's a little bit more powerful than lucid dreaming. But my lucid dream, I wasn't doing that. I was just flying around in my dream, flying around like the room essentially. And then I remember entirely all the details of that particular dream. I just remember a feeling of floating. And then when I started to practice to do that more, where I made myself tired, I noticed that I was intentionally being able to dream about whatever I want, and it was just about relaxing. Now, with astral projection, a lot of us aren't ready to astral project. There are a lot of things that exist in the spiritual realm that you aren't ready to handle. When we astral project, we are traveling to places that there are some parasites, they exist, and a lot of us aren't ready. If you haven't had an ego death, you haven't experienced like any shadow work, you haven't done any form of strengthening your mind, which is like meditation, what I'm doing right now prior to this video, lucid dreaming, you're not going to be able to handle astral projection, because you haven't conquered yourself, you haven't faced your own demons, you haven't looked inside. And because like sleep paralysis, that's what is happening. It's just your subconscious projecting what you are afraid of in it could be a demonic form, or it could be a shadow figure, but these are the things that hide in your shadows that are literally projecting. So when it comes to astral projection, like if you haven't, it's levels to it. If you haven't accomplished the other steps to lead to there, you will never be able to accomplish astral projection. Your body's going to literally take you when it knows you're ready. Your spiritual, you have like 5 bodies, your mental, emotional, physical, like all these different etheric bodies, they know you better than you know yourself. And your astral body is going to take you when it knows that you are mentally and emotionally ready to take that journey. So that's why a lot of people are out here asking, how do I astral project? And the truth is, like, there are seasoned practitioners who aid people in doing this, but not everybody has that capability to do so. So when the time is right, like, some people are naturally able to do it and some people aren't, but when the time is right, you can achieve it. It's just when you accomplish the steps, it's levels to it. Like with anything in life, you can't, like, if you're going up the steps, you don't just walk from one step and then make it to the top. You have to take certain steps to get there. I mean, some people like to jump and do those like little workouts or whatnot where, you know, you take 2 steps, but you don't want to force open your third eye. You don't want to force taking a journey that you're not ready for. It's like making it to the Super Bowl and just completely fumbling the bag. You made it there, and then you laid a complete goose egg, you know, like for those of you who are into sports. But yeah, that's pretty much goes along the lines of astral projection and lucid dreaming, because like I said, a lot of us get that confused. Now, I recently posted a video about dream walking, and that is a pretty unique experience. When I did that, it was also completely unintentional. I was seeing this woman, her and I were like, not apparently, we were soulmates in a past life. So we had a spiritual connection, a mental connection, and with everything in life, the universe works in frequencies. Her and I were always tapped into the same frequency. I was able to feel her thoughts constantly. I was able to feel like whenever she was thinking about me. And if you experience this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Twins experience this. It was almost like a form of twin telepathy, but we weren't twins. And I don't think I know we weren't twin flames, but we experienced each other in multiple lives before. So this particular lifetime, it was one of those things where we had to serve a purpose in our lives to transition and move on. And I think when I was seeing her, I kind of forced the relationship close, because I foresaw that she wasn't part of my journey. So when you do that, it leaves unresolved trauma. So that trauma like left a frequency that allowed me to tap into her constantly. Now, when it comes to dream walking, it's steps to it. Like, you have to be in both of you have to be in REM sleep, that is rapid eye movement, and both of you have to kind of accept each other's frequency. Like, most people can say, like, I'm accepting you, you are able to walk in my dream, but her and I, we naturally already had this connection. So I naturally would hear her thoughts. We kind of send signals to each other from the universe. She'd always say, oh, I see your birthday on the clock, and I'd hear these different songs. So that's the frequency. Like, and that's what, like, when you know you're ready with astral projection, because you can pick up on certain frequencies, certain signs that the universe sends you every day. But digressing back to dream walking, her and I were always on the same frequency. So, and that's what most people have to be. They have to always be on the same thought process. So it was one night that I just was thinking about her heavily, like very heavy, and I thought to myself, I still have stuff to say to her. So like the movie Inception, you are literally planting an idea in somebody's head, and that's exactly what happened. I thought real heavy about her. I already practiced lucid dreaming, so I knew for a fact that I can end up in the same dream as her. I just didn't know that, like, I knew that I could dream about her. Let me rephrase that. I knew that I can dream about her. I just didn't know that I can end up in her dream. That was, like I said, it was completely unintentional. So when I thought heavy about her and I set an intention, like, I'm gonna tell her, deliver this message to her, and I appeared in her dream. Now, I didn't say anything, but she reached out to me a few days later and was like, hey, you appeared in my dream. Now, mind you, we haven't talked to each other in a while, but she sent me a text and she was like, I don't want to be weird. I'll add in the text later, but she said, I don't want to be weird, but you appeared in my dream. And I was just like, huh, what a coincidence. So I tried it again. And same thing, I sat there and thought, relaxed, and thought about her and said, maybe I can appear in her dream. And that's exactly what happened. She described the exact same dream that I was thinking about. And she texted me and was like, you've been appearing in my dreams. And I found, like, when I saw her, I like admitted, like, I think like I've been dream walking. Like, I didn't know that that was a thing. I didn't know that was a possibility. I just thought that you can have a lucid dream, and then like I mentioned earlier, you can make your crush appear in that dream. That wasn't the case. Well, I appeared exactly in her dream. So dream walking, like the Native Americans practice it, it is a practice that's been going on forever. In fact, like ancient Egyptians were big with dream interpretation because dreams can send you messages. Like your past loved ones can visit you in dreams, like because you are all both crossing into that realm. Like people are sleeping on dreams, all pun intended, but yes, people are literally sleeping on how powerful our dreams are. They deliver messages, and from loved ones, past loved ones, from the universe. You're connecting to the Akashic records. And yeah, like that's really all I have to say about dreams. But like I think you all should truthfully practice meditation and start writing down your dreams. Like literally start writing down every dream you have. I do that. And one of my last ones that I wrote down, this was very interesting in itself too, where I traveled to some distant planet, and that planet had like a hole in the center of it. And I got down to the planet. It was like it looked like it was somewhere in the Middle East, but like, oh, it was like a desert planet. Or if you're familiar with Star Wars, it was like Tatooine, like that planet, where it was a sandy planet, had like sandy huts as houses, and there was a big hole in the sky. And then everyone's like, that's where you go when you start your next life. So I get to the planet, and I am walking around, and I go into this like bar, and I hear a piano playing, and it's this guy that looks like Kid Cudi, and he like runs away, and he's like, I chase him, and I finally catch up to him, and he's like, you're not supposed to be here. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, I'm your brother-in-law. Now, I'm not married, but I don't know whether I traveled somewhere to some distant realm, like, or if that was just some random dream. But there are certain dreams that you forget and some that you remember, and that was one that I can recall like that. Like, it wasn't one that I just instantly forgot. So those type of dreams, I feel like those are either messages from the universe, or they are you traveling somewhere, because that is definitely a possibility. So seriously, people, practice writing down your dreams, practice trying to lucid dream, and start building on those steps, especially if you want to astral project. Like, I'm never going to make a video on how to astral project, because that's something that I truthfully can't teach you. That's something that licensed practitioners struggle with. Like, some people can do it naturally and some people can't. So I hope I don't see any comments that say, I see a lot of the comments that say, how do I astral project? And I tell you the same thing. It's something that you have to work towards. It take, like with anything in life, it takes practice. But yeah, well, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm gonna get back to my meditation state, and you all carry on. Until next time.